Hi, I'm Roxy, and while I show you the creation footage of this painting I made, I'm going to talk some smack about AI. A year ago, I put out a video where I ranted for half an hour about the dangers of AI on the art industry and what we can do to fight back. That video is still valid, so if you're interested, I've put a link in the description if you want to give that a watch. And I'll also be putting source links in the description regarding any major points that I make in this video. I'll start by explaining why generative AI is parasitic. All the popular generative AI systems are trained on the work of real artists, illustrators, photographers, and designers. That's why they're so good. Our art has been scraped and used without our knowledge or our consent. And that training isn't a thing of the past either, they're still doing it. Even the so-called ethical ones like Adobe Firefly, they've tried so hard to market themselves as being on the side of artists, but they're no better. Firefly was actually trained on the back of all of Adobe's stock art contributors, who had no idea their work was being scraped and were given no way to opt out. I think it's a particularly hard slap in the face when a company that was made viable by creatives turns around and stabs us in the back. Instagram is another one. Artists have made that platform what it is, and they've been quietly scraping all the artwork we upload and using it to train Meta's own AI systems. Again, automatically opted in with no way to opt out. Without our work, these generative AI systems wouldn't be able to produce anything remotely as good as what they're currently spitting out, and these tech companies know it. OpenAI even admitted as much during a recent inquiry. They said it's impossible to create useful AI models without copyrighted material. So, in short, they use our artwork to train their systems, and then companies and individuals are using these systems to generate artwork instead of paying designers and illustrators. Put another way, they're using what they steal from us to replace us. As an added insult, many companies that illustrators and designers have been supporting for years are actually inexplicably pro-AI. I've already mentioned Adobe Firefly. The latest CorelDRAW has generative AI built in. Designers don't need or want generative AI. You know who wants generative AI? People who don't want to pay designers. So they've completely missed their target market there. ArtStation refuses to ban AI, and as I mentioned in a previous video, they all opted us into having our portfolios scraped for AI training. I'm fairly certain that's the influence of their parent company Epic Games. I'm sure they have their own agenda. DeviantArt did the same and also has its own generative AI system built in, also likely due to their parent company Wix. These are companies that exist because of us. Because of illustrators, because of photographers, because of designers, and they've stabbed us in the back. And while they're twisting the knife with one hand, the other hand's going around and groping our wallet and anything else gropable, because they're bullies with no respect. So that's why I say that generative AI is parasitic, but that's not their only problem. Let's get into fake news. Even before generative AI, I'm sure you'll agree doctored photographs were a problem. But you at least needed to have some skill in photo manipulation. Gen AI just lowered the bar way down. Now literally anyone that so desires can make fake images and fake videos impersonating people, fabricating events, and do it prolifically. I'm sure you've probably seen the fake Elon Musk adverts on YouTube. Not sure how that's even a thing. I can't understand why it's not immediately flagged as a scam. But anyway, I report them every time I see them. Then there's social media. There was a time 10 to 15 years ago where social media was actually enjoyable. Lifeless algorithms weren't the ones dictating whose posts we got to see and whose were hidden. We got to see the posts of all the people we friended and all the pages and groups we followed. We had meaningful interactions with real humans. And that's something that we sadly no longer get. The algorithm started favoring only people who post regularly. And some people noticed that and started posting more regularly. Not useful stuff, mind you, just more stuff. And pretty soon, all we were seeing is low quality shit posting from the same 3 people and invasive adverts that knew too much. Well, if social media was hanging on to its usefulness and enjoyability by its fingernails before, it's sure enough slipped off now. As I scroll down my feeds, all I see is generative AI. The animal groups I used to enjoy scrolling through to see pictures of foxes and owls that actual people had photographed. They just get lost in a sea of generated foxes and owls that look just too perfect. I don't want to see bullshit pictures generated by a machine. I want to see the flawed efforts of real people with souls. So, generative AI is parasitic. It proliferates fake news. It's drowned out human connections in socials. But wait, there's more. These Gen AI systems also use a stupid amount of electricity. I was just reading that it's been assessed that ChatGPT alone consumes the same amount of energy as 33,000 homes. It also uses an obscene amount of water to generate electricity and cool processes. In one lawsuit, it came out that a data center cluster serving OpenAI used 6% of the entire district's water. And then there's also all the e-waste produced by AI tech. So it's bad for humans socially, and except for a very small percentage of elites, it's also bad economically because of all the job losses, and it's bad for the environment. At the very beginning of the rise of AI, my mindset was curiosity, but I learned more and that turned into dread. And as I continue to see how it's all unfolding, I'm just angry. I'm angry that these tech companies are so selfish that they'll sit back and watch the world burn for some profit. The greed sickens me. I realize not everybody's up to speed with how parasitic AI is and how unscrupulous these tech companies are. So I try to be kind to the individual, and I like to give people the benefit of the doubt that if they were made aware, they'd care. I'm hoping they'd care enough to stop using generative AI and also stop tolerating Gen AI in their social circles. So if you'll share this video, I'd be much obliged. Let's spread the word. And thank you for watching. Thank you also for the likes and comments. Until the next one, God bless.